Hello, and welcome to episode 1, which will discuss phonemic awareness for multilingual learners and students with language variations. My name is Addison Staley, and I will be leading the presentation today. So, a quick agenda overview. We will be looking at phonemic awareness and what that is at first. I'm going to model a brief lesson for you of phonemic awareness intended for multilingual and language variation students. And then we're going to have a little discussion and wrap up about the choices that were made during that lesson. So first of all, for those of you who are unfamiliar, phonemic awareness is an oral language skill. It is said to be something that students can do with their eyes closed. So it doesn't involve necessarily letters or writing or spelling or even encoding, but it's just about the sounds of the language. Students who have a strong phonemic awareness can play with the language in different ways with like rhyming games, clapping out syllables, alliteration. It can be really fun for students, and there's a lot of variations that you can mix into phonemic awareness practice. Onset rhyme and phonemes are another one. Phonemes can include some different activities for phoneme practice, can include segmentation, identification, blending, deletion, and manipulation. And this is a pretty common practice in phonemic awareness. From my experience, would be working with the phonemes specifically in some of these ways. So I found it important to include those as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on our modeled lesson. And then, like I said, once the lesson is finished, we will discuss some of the choices I made to best teach our multilingual and language variation students. Okay, so I'm going to take the role of teacher now, and you guys will be students. So, when you go to the dentist or doctor and they need to see in your mouth, the doctor may tell you to say, look at the picture, ah, ah, that's right. And that is the sound that we will learn about today. This letter, which is named A, is the letter that makes this new sound. But we don't really need to know what the letter is yet. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like in case you were curious. But we need to know that it says ah, like when you're at the dentist. This is a new sound for you all, so I want everyone to go ahead and practice saying it. Can you say ah, 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 ah? Very nice. Good job. All right, let's try some words now. Say the word cat. Good. Let's tap the sounds that you hear in the word cat. Are you ready? Get your tappers ready. K, a, t, k, a, t. Great job. This is a photo of a cat. Some people have cats as pets in their home. Have you ever seen anyone that has a cat? Very nice. Oh, you have a cat? How do you say this word cat in your home language? Ooh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And how do we say the word in English? Cat. Great job. That's right. Wonderful. Can anyone tell me a sentence about a cat? The cat is small and cute. Wonderful job. That's a great sentence. Ooh, here's a new one. The next word is hat. Say the word hat. Yes, good. Let's do this. Let's hear the sounds that we have. Ready? Get those tappers ready. Ah, t, ah, t. Turn to your partner and tap those sounds. Great job. And let's blend them together. What's the word? Hat. Good. Look at this cool hat that I have. This is a hat. Do you have a hat? Yeah, at home. And what part of our body do we wear our hats? Yes, we wear a hat on our head. What do you call the word hat in your language? Very nice. I love that. That's a beautiful word. Thank you for sharing that with me. And what is that word in English that we just learned about? Hat. Yes, good. Now, can you tell me a sentence that has the word hat? The boy wears a hat. Wonderful job. That's right. That is hat, and it says ah in the middle. Do you hear that ah? Ah. Now I'm going to give you a challenge. Are you ready? Great. What if we took our word hat, let's tap it real quick, at, and we changed the beginning sound to Oh, this is a big challenge. Okay, so what's the first sound that we hear in at? Can anyone tell me the first sound? Good. We're going to change that into at. Wonderful. What's our new word? At. Mat. Great job. I'm so proud of you. Has anyone ever seen a mat before? I have a picture here of a mat. Oh, I have one in front of my door at home too. Thank you for sharing that. What's the word in your home language? Oh, very nice. Thank you for sharing that with me. And what's the word in English again? Mat. That's right. Great job. Can you tell me about a time that you saw a mat? Where were you and what did the mat look like? Ooh, I love that story. That sounds like a lovely mat that you saw. What was the word again? Mat. Great job. We have practiced the words cat, hat, and mat today. And what is the middle sound in all of these words? What's our new sound? Ah. Yep, just like you're at the doctor's and they say ah. That's right. Good job. Wonderful job, everyone. This is the letter that makes the sound ah. I am so proud of you all. All right, so taking off my teacher hat now and going back into discuss some of the choices that were made. First of all, it's really, really crucial for multilingual learners that we're incorporating vocabulary in this. Now, typically for English native speaking students that I've worked on with phonemic awareness, we don't include vocabulary. It's sound and sound manipulation. But when we're doing this with students who do not have English as their first language, it's a great opportunity to build on that, and you have to make sure they know the words that you're talking about. Words like hat, mat, and cat that we included in this lesson, I wouldn't really go over with a lot of my students because they were familiar with these words, but students who do not speak English, it's a great chance to build that vocabulary background also while practicing phonemic awareness and the sound portions. It's always important as well to attempt to build from the home language. There's a lot of sounds that have some overlap in different languages. I took this approach as Spanish-speaking native students in my mind. So there is no connector, there is no short A in Spanish, and that's why I was pretty explicit with like the way that the sound is formed and the example of with the doctor saying ah, because it's not a sound that they're used to making. So I was trying to connect like a real life example so that they can practice saying that sound. It's not a buzz sound, so we couldn't really do the voiced and unvoiced thing, but I wanted to make that connection there because it's a whole new sound for them. So this is something that would need repeated practice much more than this short lesson. I also try to apply can you turn and tell your partner a sentence or tell me a sentence? So that's just taking things a step further, and I'll get into this a little more later, but also encouraging that oral language and building it and building just language knowledge in general by sharing a sentence. The photos that I include, I try to be intentional about picking real images. I know there's a lot of cutesy clip arts, but I do, from my experience, find it important that if they have a real image to base it off of, that connection is bridged a little better, and it's not like you're looking at some cutesy little clip art hat, but you're actually seeing a real hat or a picture of a real hat, which takes me into my next point of including manipulatives. The hat was the best I could come up with for this lesson, but having real life examples or words that you have in your classroom and being able to show your students, this is that word, like here it is. That bridges that connection of a new word and entering their not working memory and their knowledge, entering that brain flow there for them is so, so important. And if they see it, it's going to click a little better, I think. You also have to be intentional about not overwhelming or overdoing anything. So, like with this lesson, I really didn't need words on any slides, but just for in general, like you don't want to do too much that it's like a lot for them, because you have to remember that this is a new language. This is a brand new sound. Like, I don't expect them to read all of these slides with words that I'm showing you now. And I just try to imagine how that would feel if you had slides filled with words to read in a language that you did not yet know how to read or understand. So just something to be cognizant of there. And then lastly, oral language and questioning is huge, and it's so easy to incorporate into this. So you saw my turn and talks, or can you tell me a story about a time you saw Matt? So that stuff was intentional to be included to build that oral language and give students a chance to share in English about an experience they've had, or really any way that we can get them to talk, because we know how important oral language is for our multilingual learners and students with language variations. Any questioning that you can build on and trying to build those sentence shares and things like that. Super easy ways to just kind of bridge that connection between phonemic awareness and oral language. It can bridge really beautifully and give them a chance to build on that oral language, which we definitely want for all of our learners. And here's my references slide. And thank you so much for watching.